Hi, I'm Angie and welcome to Yoga with Angie. So today I wanted to do a series just on a total body stretch. We have a lot of people that are really beginners to yoga, and that seems to be the most popular thing that I do in my class is just a total body stretch. So we're going to do just a quick total body stretch, whether it's pre-workout, first thing in the morning, or pre-post-workout, first thing in the morning, whatever your body needs, just to kind of give an overall good feeling to the body and stretch it out, and a great way to start your day. So grab a mat, get into something comfortable, and I'll meet you here on your mat. So we're going to start in a child's pose. You want to keep your knees apart. So the wider you have your knees apart, the more ability you have for your chest to come between those knees, opening up the hips, and keep your spine tucked into the heels. Another great thing that you can do is use a block or blanket or for support underneath that tailbone. You're going to start by just drawing your chest towards the mat. So really walk those palms forward, let the elbows fall heavy, and just let the head fall heavy. Maybe just kind of roll out the forehead on your mat. So let's start by finding our breath, opening up the low back, the neck, the shoulders, allowing those hips to kind of sink open as your hips sink into the heels. So let's start by taking a deep breath in through the nose and long exhale. Deep breath in through the nose and big long exhale. Continue with that breath, taking it in through the nose, seal the lips, and draw that breath all the way back down through the throat. Quite literally visualizing that breath come all the way down through the base of the spine and allowing the tailbone to sink into your mat, hips sink into your heels, and maybe even just adjusting here with your breath. Allow the neck and shoulders to relax and just let those elbows fall heavy onto your mat. Loosen up the grip on your palms. Each breath allows for your body to create that space, create that relaxation in the body. So breath is super important here. So while this is, yes, just stretching, it is really important to keep that nice, smooth, calm breath, because when we have that constricted, tight breath, those are areas where we have probably the most tightness in the body. And then keeping that smooth, calm inhalation and exhalation, we're able to let the body release and relax. So breathing into those areas of tightness. Let's gently walk your hands over to the right side of your mat. So just a couple palms over to the right side of your mat, let the head fall heavy. Breathing into that left side of the rib cage, left side of the shoulders. Continue to let the head fall heavy here. Opening up the left side of the body. And let's walk back through center and then big reach over to the right side of your mat, even placing that right palm over your left. So feeling that right side underneath the armpit, into the rib cage, into the right side of the low belly, feeling that big stretch and release in the right side of the body. And gently come back to center. This time we're reaching those palms a little bit further forward, pressing those palms into the mat, and then letting the head fall heavy, really feeling those shoulders as they open up, the backs of the armpits. Let's take one more breath here. and then we'll work over into our tabletop position. So let's start in this tabletop position. We're going to start by taking that right palm and turning it so it's at about 180 degrees. So the fingertips are facing the knees. So this is excellent if you are an office employee, you're on your laptop all day, even if you're texting. This is great release for those forearms. So really press those fingertips into the mat, press those palms into the mat. As you exhale, let the hips sink back and just keep those palms and fingertips pressed into your mat. So as you exhale and drive your hips back, you're going to feel the opening of those forearms. Deep breath in and exhale. Each exhale, breathing into those areas of tightness in the body, letting the body release and relax with each exhale. One more breath here. And then slowly release, come back up to center, and let's take those wrists, circle out those wrists. And then take that right fingertip, those fingertips to the elbow, and then big stretch as you take that right elbow all the way around and back. Let's just take a couple of these, forward and back. One more here, opening up those shoulders, and then reverse that. So take it all the way forward and back. So each time trying to draw that elbow a little bit further back, opening up that right shoulder blade. One more here. And pausing here, pressing that right palm into your mat, taking that left palm, bringing those fingertips facing towards the knees. So you really want to press those fingertips in the mat. And again, if this is too much, you can always take those fingertips at a 45-degree angle too. So the goal here is to open up that left side forearm. So as you exhale, allow the hips to sink back into the heels. Just applying a little bit of pressure here to the forearms. So as we drive the hips back and really press that left palm and fingertips into the mat, you're going to feel that left forearm start to open up. So continue those deep, long inhalations and exhalations. If you need a break, just drag the hips forward and apply a little bit of release to that left side forearm. Let's take one more here. And gently come back up to center. Release that left palm and just kind of shake out those wrists. I know it's pretty rough. Depending on which side you are dominant, it's pretty rough. So take those fingertips and bring those left fingertips to the left shoulder. Big stretch as you take that left elbow all the way around and back. Big reach. And let's take one more here forward. And then reverse it. Take that elbow all the way forward and back. So big giant circles. Keeping with that breath. Nice, smooth inhalations and exhalations. And let's bring both palms back to center. Let's take both of those palms and bring each palm about one more palm distance forward. So press those palms into the mat. As you inhale, drive the hips forward. Let those hips sink super heavy here. And this is one of my favorite things to do. So as you press down through your palms, relax the neck and shoulders and peel those shoulder blades away from the ears as you squeeze those inner elbows in towards the rib cage. Keep your gaze facing forward. And I love to just kind of shake out the hips here. So just opening up those hip flexors nice and gently. Let's take one more breath here. And as you exhale, let your hips sink back into your heels. Bring those toes to touch. And just relax the neck and shoulders. Take child's pose. So we like to reverse the action. So that puts a lot of pressure on the low back. So releasing into the low back here with a reverse position in child's pose just allows our body to just release and relax for just a moment. One more breath here. And then slowly start to bring your chest forward. So coming back into, so you have two options here. So I like to use blocks to elevate my elbows a little bit, but if you don't have blocks, it's certainly fine just to do it on your mat. So we're gonna start here by bringing those elbows all the way forward onto your mat. So you wanna make sure to keep, see, notice how my hips are continually stacked over my knees. So you wanna draw those elbows into the mat. So you wanna let those elbows press into the mat, let the head fall between the biceps, and just bring those palms to touch right at the base of the neck. So keeping those hips stacked over the knees, you're gonna start to feel that release in the backs of those arms. So right in the triceps, the backs of the armpits, the neck and shoulders. And I love it with blocks because it allows the head to just fall a little bit heavier and release into the neck and shoulders a little bit deeper here. But certainly if you don't have blocks, this is a great option just on your mat. Continue those smooth inhalations and smooth exhalations. And go ahead and release those palms. Come back up onto the elbows and just kind of remove those blocks away for a moment. Let's just take some cat-cow stretches here. So palms directly underneath the shoulders. As you inhale, drop the belly, drive the chin and chest forward, press those palms into your mat. Exhale, round out the spine, bring the belly button all the way into the base of the spine and let the head fall between the biceps. Inhale, drop that belly, open up the chin and chest, and maybe even shake out that tailbone a little bit. Work through these stretches to whatever feels good. So as you exhale, rounding out the belly, just taking as many turns to the spine. So great for the spine. One more here, inhale. And exhale, round it out. And next inhale, come back into a tabletop position. We're gonna take that right foot forward, right between those palms. So from here, right foot presses between the mat. So as you inhale, squeeze your glutes and inner thighs together, reach and extend those arms overhead. So you really wanna press that right heel into the mat. Grab opposite elbows here. Now draw those elbows back in line with the ears as you drive your hips forward here. So almost like a mini back bend here. Feeling that left side of those hip flexors, left side interior thigh, the psoas open as you drive your hips forward. Now reach and extend the arms overhead here. Draw those shoulder blades back. Now as you exhale, take the hands behind the low back, interlace the fingers, and open up the chest as you continue to drive the hips forward into your mini back bend here. Once again, deep breath in, and exhale, drive the hips forward. And slowly release those palms. Take your hands onto your blocks, if you have your blocks here. You wanna bring your blocks in line with your hips here, and maybe walk that right foot slightly forward. Now as you exhale, drive the hips back, press that right heel into the mat. You're gonna start by taking your half splits here. So opening up the right side hamstrings. So if you're super tight here, take your time. So you can even take your blocks to length side. If you want to take a little bit deeper stretch and move that left knee back, or that back knee just a slight back a little bit further. Continue to drive the hips back and drive your chest in towards the thighs. So really start to move the chest in towards the thighs. Keep your foot nice and flexed here. Super straight spine. Press that tailbone back. And then drive the pelvis forward, bring the chest in towards the thighs, nose in towards the knees. So big, deep stretch, allowing that breath to flow into the backs of those hamstrings. So if you're tight here, take your time. There's no rush to bring the chest towards the thighs. That's just your goal here, so you have direction. But you want to really take your time and release into the backs of those hamstrings, giving your body that time to release. One more deep breath here. Exhale, allow the hips to sink back, flex into that right foot. One more breath here. And slowly start to bring that chest forward, and then bring that right foot so it's flat back on your mat. So I'm going to give you an option to do a quad stretch here, but if it's too much, I'll give you another option on the floor. So take that right hand right inside the right foot. You want to take that left heel to your seat and drive that left heel towards your seat. So that's going to open up the left side quad. But again, if you're too tight here, or if it's too much, or if it's too much on your knees, that left knee is really pressing into the mat. You can always fold your mat, use a blanket, or I'll show you this also on the ground. So let's take one more breath here. Drive the hips forward, left heel comes in towards the knee. And as you exhale, slowly release that foot. This time taking that right foot all the way to the right side of your mat. Slowly drive the hips forward and allow that right foot to come out onto the right side. So you want to allow that right foot to kind of bow out so it's on the right side of the foot. I love blocks here. So if you're not tight and you want to get a little bit deeper, you don't have to use blocks. Blocks are just a great support. So making sure that knee kind of bows out. Gently allow those elbows to come down onto the blocks, opening up the right side inner thigh, left side hip flexors. Really feeling that release in the hamstrings. Release the neck and shoulders and allow that chest to fall heavy here. Once again, blocks are great. If you don't want the blocks or don't have them, they're not necessary. So each exhale, allowing those hips to sink further in towards your mat, releasing into the neck and shoulders. Let the head fall heavy here. And let's take one more breath. Slowly start to rise back up, feeling that chest away from the mat. Keep those palms right inside of that left or inside of that right foot. Curl that back toe under. Again, you can always keep that left knee on your mat. But if you want to lift that left knee, press that left palm into your mat. Right palm just comes to the knee. Take a twist over to the right. So kind of just take your gaze over that right elbow. Press that left heel back, really opening up that left side quad, and then drawing that left hip towards the midline of the body, feeling that left hip flexor open as you allow the hips to sink into your mat. One more breath here. And as you exhale, release that knee back down to your mat. And then heel toe that right foot back to center. So you can either come back into tabletop here. I'm just going to take one downward dog. A tabletop is always a great option. But if you want, press your palms into your mat and lift your hips to the sky. So press those heels back. This is a really great stretch pose for the start the day. Press those palms into the mat, squeeze those inner elbows, and drive that tailbone back. I love to just kind of walk the dog here, bend the knees, press the heels into the mat. So just opening up the body, kind of stretching everything out. This is great, especially for those calves. And let's take one more breath here. And either you can come back into tabletop, or you just take that left foot to the front of your mat, drop that right knee. As you inhale, squeeze the glutes and inner thighs, drive your hips forward. Inhale, reach and extend those arms overhead. Grab opposite elbows, drive the hips forward. Take those elbows in line with ears. As you drive those hips forward, squeeze the glutes and inner thighs. Inhale, reach and extend the arms overhead, and then take those hands behind the low back. Interlace the fingers, open up the chest, peel those shoulder blades away, and continue with your mini back bend here as you drive your hips forward. Keep your gaze facing forward. One more breath here. And slowly release those palms down to your mat. Grab your blocks once again for our half splits. So this time drive your hips back to center, and then take that left heel, maybe drive it forward a little bit further. This time, as you drive your hips back, bringing that weight or using those blocks either lengthwise or on their side as support for the palms. So as you exhale, drive your hips back, chest comes forward in towards the thighs, flex into that left foot. And once again, releasing with your body, so allowing your breath to release, one breath at a time. Deep breath in. Exhale, drive those hips back. Keep that left foot nice and flexed here. Feeling that release in the backs of those hamstrings. Usually a place where most of us are tight. Let's take one more breath here. Each exhale, just trying to release those hips back into the heels a little bit further. And next inhale, come back up through center. Take those blocks, let them fall to the side, and then walk that left foot over to the left side of your mat, once again using your blocks or not. Allowing that left knee to kind of bow out here. So notice how it just kind of falls to the side as you come onto the outside of that left foot. Using your blocks here, relax and release that chest forward. Let the neck and shoulders fall heavy, and feel that release in the hips as you let those hips fall forward. Again, as you breathe and release each exhale, allow those hips to drop, and just allow the body to release with your breath. Maybe that left foot kind of falls further out to the side. If you want to release the blocks, if you have a little bit more availability in the body, just release the blocks and let the neck and shoulders fall heavy. One more breath here. Slowly start to walk those palms back up. Once again, keeping those palms inside of that left foot. Curl those back toes under, and if you want to lift the knee, you can. Otherwise, you can keep that right knee on your mat. Left palm comes to the left knee, and gently take your gaze over that left shoulder. So allowing that right hip to drop in towards your mat, right hip comes towards the midline of the body, opening up that right side hip flexor. One more breath here. And next inhale, come back up to center. And want to take that left knee in line with the right. And once again, let's let the hands come about just right to the top of your mat, about 1 palm distance beyond the shoulders. Let the hips fall forward. Relax the neck and shoulders. Once again, opening up those hips. Deep breath in. Peel those shoulder blades away from the ears. Squeeze the inner elbows. And then gently start to release the chest back down to your mat. So keeping those palms, I'm going to take them to goalpost arms here. So keeping your palms at goalpost arms, let your cheek come to your mat. Now here's another way that you can do that quad stretch. So take that right heel towards your seat. So you can get your quad stretch here if you didn't get it earlier. This is a great way to do it. But here we want to take that right knee about 90 degrees out to the right side of our mat. So opening up that right side of the body, right side hip. So we want to continue to draw that right hip down towards your mat. Maybe extend that right leg here, opening up the hips a little bit further. Sometimes it's nice to use a block right underneath the knee. If you want to open up that right side hip a little bit further. One more breath here. And then slowly bring that right knee in line with the left. So you want to come up onto your palms, so press those palms into your mat. Take your left palm forward, press it into the mat. You want to take that right arm underneath the left, kind of thread the needle-ish. So let that right arm come all the way underneath that left shoulder, and then continue to take that cheek to mat, let the head fall heavy. As your left palm walks forward and presses into the mat, and your right shoulder is heavy on your mat. So you're opening up that right side shoulder here. So each exhale, feeling that release, breathing into the body. Let's take one more breath here. And slowly bring that left palm back to center, and then rising up and take that right arm, extending it all the way over to the right. This time take that left palm right underneath the shoulders and press that right palm into the mat. Now come onto that right hip and take that left foot right behind the left knee. You can just allow the head to fall onto your mat, opening up that left side of the body. If you want to reach and extend that left leg back a little bit deeper, opening up the hip flexor and that right shoulder. If you want to take that right palm, extend to the sky, bring it behind your hip, you can always do that. Let's take one more breath here. Once again, if these feel good to you, staying in these poses for as long as you would like. And next inhale, come back to center. Bring those palms back into goalpost arm. Once again, if you want to get the left side quad here, bring that left heel to your seat. Give it a nice tug, and as you exhale, drive the heel in towards the seat. Once again, if you want to get a deeper stretch here, and you want to keep working into the quad as we move forward, you can pause. Take that left knee, bring it all the way over to the left side of your mat. Keeping that left leg at a 90-degree bend, drawing that left hip down towards your mat, maybe extending your leg long if that feels good, opening up that left side hip, but continue to draw that left hip down towards your mat. Deep breath in. And exhale. And gently bring that left knee back in line with your right. This time taking that right palm, pressing it to the mat. Left arm comes all the way underneath that right shoulder, or that right armpit. So you're pressing that right palm forward, cheek comes to your mat, releasing into that left side shoulder here. So just keep that left palm facing up. Right palm really reaches forward and presses into the mat, opening up that left side shoulder. Let's take one more breath here. Once again, if these feel good, taking these poses as long as it feels good to you. And gently starting to bring that right palm back in line with the shoulder, coming back up, and then extending that left arm all the way over to the left side of your mat, pressing that right palm into your mat, and then rotating onto that left hip as that right foot drives behind the left knee, and just let the head fall heavy here. Once again, relaxing into the neck and shoulders. If you want to extend that right arm, bring that right hand behind the hip, whatever feels good for you. Maybe extending that right leg back a little bit further, opening up the hips, and getting into that left side shoulder. Let's take one more breath here. Continuing with those deep inhalations and deep exhalations. And slowly releasing, coming back up to on your, let's press those palms underneath the shoulders. Take the hips back into your tabletop position, curl those toes under, and then let's walk it all the way back into our downward dog. One last time here. So let the head fall between the biceps. Squeeze those inner elbows, drive those hips back. So you really want to tilt that pelvis forward, drive that tailbone back, and slowly start to walk the palms back to the feet. As you let the head fall heavy here, relax into the neck and shoulders. Let's grab opposite elbows here and just shake it out right to left. Feeling the release in the backs of those hamstrings. Maybe extend the legs, bend the knees. Love this here. So each time you extend, feeling the release in the back of those hamstrings. Take those fingertips, grab them, just wrap them around the backs of the ankles. So as you extend your legs long, bring your chest in towards your thigh, nose in towards your knee. Now extend and bend. As you exhale, bend into the knees, let the chest fall heavy. As you inhale, extend, feeling the chest continue to come in towards those thighs. One more here. And once again, let the head fall heavy here. Grab opposite elbows. Just kind of shake it out. If you need a midday low back and hamstring release, if you're sitting all day, this is a great thing to do. And gently release those palms. Let's just do one mountain pose for good measure. Inhale, slowly rise up, bringing those palms to touch overhead. Exhale, elbows come wide, open up the chest. Inhale, reach. Exhale, elbows drop down, open up the chest. One more here. Exhale. Last inhale, mountain pose. And exhale, find your fold. And then just gently walk yourself back into a tabletop position. Come onto your knees, cross over those ankles, and roll onto your back. Let's bring those knees into the chest. Give yourself one big hug. I could easily make this class be an hour, We're trying to give you a quick stretch as much as possible for the full body in close to 30 minutes. So let's take those knees, bring them into the chest and peel them away, and then reverse it. So once again, just opening up those hips. One of my favorites here, happy baby. Grab the outside of those feet, draw those knees down. Just kind of roll out the spine here. Maybe extend and bend the legs. Feel the backs of those hamstrings released. And when you're ready here, bringing those heels together, knees wide, and just releasing, opening up those hips, drawing those knees away from the body. Deep breath in. And exhale. One more deep breath in. And exhale. So here, bring those knees together. You can take both knees really tight into your chest. Take both knees over to the right and take a supine twist. Great way to start the day, wringing out those organs. Draw that left shoulder into the mat. Maybe take your gaze over the left shoulder. Once again, you can hang out in this position as long as you would like. Breathing and opening up the body. Next inhale, come back up to center. And allow those knees to fall over to the left side of the body, drawing that right shoulder into the mat. Once again, opening up the spine, the shoulders, the low back. Maybe take your gaze over that right shoulder, and also staying in here as long as you want. So deep breaths in and exhale, long drawn out exhales. Next inhale, come back up to center. Knees come super tight into your chest. And we're going to take our final pose with those heels together, knees wide, opening up the hips. So bring those heels as close as you can to your pelvis. Let those feet just come together, and then allow those knees to fall heavy. So relaxing into the neck and shoulders, let the shoulders fall heavy onto your mat. So maybe if you need to lift up the shoulders and then draw those shoulder blades down, keep a nice flat back here. Maybe keep one palm on the belly, one palm on the heart. Let's just take a minute to pause here. Thanking our bodies for the ability to move and stretch in the way that we just did this morning. Being thankful for this new day, this new week. And just sending gratitude to one person out there today. And we'll just close out the practice here, taking all the time that you need. I thank you for your practice today. May you move through this day with ease, having your body the ability to have the range of motion, the flexibility, and the ability to move without pain or discomfort. Light in me honors the